Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brett. It's New Week in Comics, and we're doing AfterShock week. In my hands is one of the releases. It's Knight's Temporal, Volume 1. This collects issues number 1 through 5 of the rather interesting and time-twisting series that came out and wrapped up not too long ago. So this is written by Cullen Bunn, who's one of the creators, or is the creator. Fred Galán is the artist. Dave Sharpe is the letterer, and Galán did the front and original series covers. Whole bunch of variants as well. So this series, it's an interesting one. So it's Auguste de Riviere. I need to make sure that I got the name right. He's this Crusades knight that stumbles into a magical forest and gets thrown through time. It's a really interesting story about. It's a weird mind trip of a time travel series. So when I first read it, I read it issue by issue and thought it was good. It didn't necessarily like blow me away, but it was entertaining. I wanted to see where it was going because it was a very different time travel series. Like, I didn't know the direction that Bunn was going to take us. The other is Cullen Bunn is an amazing writer. And he, I think, is one of the top-notch horror writers that's out there. So to see him do something that's not a horror series really made me interested also to see where he was going to take it with that. So what he does is this really kind of interesting take with this Crusaders Knight thrown into modern times. And the question is like, what's going on? Why did this happen? What's his mission? Who are these people around him? And there's so many twists and turns, like, you won't necessarily know where it's going. And this thing I really actually enjoyed about the series is that the direction I thought Bunn was taking it definitely is not where he took it. I thought it was going to be kind of a really straightforward knight versus, this evil wizard that survived decades later thing. And, something that we've seen a million times over. And no, not to that. It's a real trippy, weird time travel series. And if you like that sort of thing, definitely check this out. Like, if you are a fan of Knight thrown into modern times with a temporal twist to it, this is for you. It definitely did not take the direction I thought it would, which is a good thing. And having reread this, I think it reads much better as a trade than it did as single issues. Definitely the gap between each issue was a little bit of an issue in that I might have forgotten some of the details in that, and I think it just kind of flows and you can be able to read it in one sitting, basically, which kind of, to me, makes it a bit more enjoyable. There are comics I think work better as a trade collected than they do single issues. This is one of them. That's not necessarily a knock to it at all. It's actually means it's a very good series. It's a good comic in that when you sit down, you read the arc, it makes sense and it's good. There are actually some comics that work better as single issues than they do as a trade. So this is one to check out. Like, if you like that Knight thrown into modern times sort of story, and then, have the rug pulled out from under you, you'll dig it. The art is really cool. Galán, I think, does some really cool stuff. The design is, I don't know quite how to describe it. Like, I don't know what to describe this style. The characters are really interesting. You can see kind of it's dark to kick off, but let's maybe get some more interesting visuals. There are some amazing visuals at one point, especially in the later issues when some more of the what's going on really clicks. It gets really cool. This is visually really cool. This is an example of kind of what I'm talking about. There's like more of this later on that I really, really dig. It's not everything's really dark. This is darker than I remember, but it's not all like browns and blacks and stuff like that. Though surprisingly, there's a lot of browns and blacks looking at the flipping through. Again, I don't think I really thought through like color palette, but it's not quite as dark as those few pages kind of show off. It's just a very fun journey. It's a really interesting journey. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, again, if you like that concept of a knight getting thrown into modern times with a weird time aspect, like, I don't even know how to describe the twist and turn that happens later in the story and when it all starts coming together. Like, when it starts coming together, it pays off. Extras, we got tons of variants on the back, and then some process pages which I always love. I think these are great things to see in trade paperbacks, and I wish everyone had them. Overall, really cool series. Definitely works great as a trade. Once sit down, read it through, you'll hopefully enjoy it. Yeah, I don't know how else to describe it. Like, it's just one that I wound up enjoying. Like, when I was reading the single issues, very confused until it came down to, I think, the last 2 issues, and then everything started to click. Obviously, I know these things now, reading through it and having reread through it. Some top-notch stuff. Like, enjoyable, fun, good read. Check it out. You can go get this. We got links beneath this video where you can purchase it. Even with everything shut down, you can still get comics, and we're going to help you find out how. So check out those links. Some of them are affiliate links, which means we do get a small percentage, but go support comic shops whenever you can. There's going to be links to comic shops below. And speaking of support, I want to thank AfterShock for hooking us up with this review copy. We appreciate it. And thank you for watching. If you're into AfterShock, if you're into comics in general, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, just everywhere, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. So until next time, keep reading those comics, support the comic industry, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.